shout out to everybody, because the popular narrative is 20, people hate 2020. There's so much this and so much death and so much whatever in 2020. I mean, yeah, Kobe and his daughter and their untimely passing, and a few people passed away. However, and not to undermine those deaths, not to undermine them, but contrary to that, right? A lot of people got some wins in 2020. There are a lot of wins in 2020. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people leveled up in 2020. You know? So, but it's kind of hard to see that when you look on the news and you see death, death, death. You know? When, when the deaths, like people dying from it, and again, not to undermine the deaths, but people that's dying from it, like you're less than 2%. Dying is less than 2%. But all you hear is death, death, death. You're more likely to make it through it. But hey, you know what I mean? It is what it is. And on top of that, a lot of people are being disingenuous. They're being very disingenuous because some people are saying, well, yeah, I have family members, an uncle or a brother or an aunt or a cousin who got the COVID virus, right? And they didn't make it. They didn't make it. But what they're leaving out is the fact that that family member already had diabetes, already had some sort of pre-existing condition. It's a trip how, you can see this on the news. If you're watching YouTube, it's in between the videos and so on and so forth. It's everywhere. Death, death, death. It's weird because it's like now ordinary folk are perpetuating the same thing, keeping that narrative going. Saying, yeah, I got so-and-so who died from COVID, but they're leaving out the fact that they was already sick and weighing 300 pounds and stuff like that. Not to undermine the deaths, like I said. But your chances of surviving are way higher than you dying from it. Those are just facts. You know what I'm saying? And listen, if you eat meat, processed meat, you know what I mean? And okay, say the meat isn't, say, I don't know, grass fed or something like that. Be clear. If you're eating meat with steroids and all sorts of chemicals and stuff like that, it would probably behoove you to get up out of people's face talking about, put your mask on, put your mask on. Personally, I think the mask is just there to give people just some sense of comfort because it's not 100% effective. And once again, if I'm being truthful here, neither are the supplements and things of that nature. Fuck out people's face, though. Listen, just because COVID is here, don't get it twisted. There's other illnesses. Those other illnesses like diabetes and things like that are still there. They still here. They ain't going nowhere. So keep that in mind. With this new age, yes, I'm still on that. Okay? And not to beat a dead horse, but if you think that because you speak French, because you speak Arabic, because you speak Spanish, don't think that, or because you talk with an accent, that don't make you better than the rest of the collective. The collective meaning the diaspora. I don't give a fuck if you, hey, bruv, I'm better than you, bruv. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you sac passe. I'm Haitian. I don't care. I don't care if you Ras Claude Bamba Claudio. I don't give a fuck where you from or what you speak, if it's patois or whatever. It doesn't make you better than the collective. I would say something in Spanish, but I don't know how to speak Spanish. Like, I don't know how to say that. Shut up, Shun. Better than you, Shun. I don't give a fuck if you a New Yorker or whatever. Listen. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop doing it. So listen, I don't care And like I said, I don't care if you speak French or whatever language. And listen, if you do speak French, matter of fact, fuck just French, Spanish, French, Arabic. You do realize those are Caucasian languages, right? You realize those are Caucasian languages. You speak those languages because of either slavery or colonialism. And they're both, for the most part, the same. You know what I'm saying? Well, South Africa had apartheid, still colonialism. All of them have, every country that's been colonized has suffered some atrocities. Okay? The Belgian folk, Belgium. So I don't know if you call them Belgians. I don't know. But our brothers and sisters in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, cobalt and rubber and some other natural resources grow there. And if you don't pick that shit, or how it used to be, I ain't gonna front and act like I know what it's like now. But if you didn't get the resources, I guess it's almost like picking cotton. So if you didn't gather whatever those resources was for the rubber, and you didn't do it fast enough, they chopped your hands off. And I know some of you seen photos of our brothers and sisters with nubs. Got nothing there, nubs. And as far as reparations, I think they're in talks of it. From the last I looked into it, so I don't know if that's ever happened. If they've gotten reparations, I know South Africa, because of the atrocities that went on with apartheid, a lot of the citizens there received a substantial amount in reparations. Like I said, because of the atrocities from apartheid. But anyway, I'm getting off script, you know. But if you are a black man or woman or whatever, if you're black and you say you're from the continent or wherever, and you say you speak French, do you think that makes you a Frenchman? No, just a nigga that speaks French. And I'm saying that again just to reiterate that, listen, none of us are better than the collective. I don't fuck with you, Akata. I can't work with Akata. I cannot work with Akata. You black people, you're messing up. No, I'm nothing like you. I'm nothing like you. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I don't know if y'all ever seen this movie. Not this movie, but it's like a series of different episodes. I believe it comes on Amazon Prime. It's called Small Axe. Small A-X-E, Small Axe. And it's different stories of things popping off with our brothers and sisters over in the UK. Our people catching, like I said, our people catching hell everywhere. I don't care if you're in a continent, niggas get knocked over the head everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how curly your hair is. I don't care how light your eyes are. I don't care how slender your nose is. Walking around this bitch with a dashiki that was made in India. Yeah, y'all know that? Did you know that? Motherfucking dashikis that's primarily made today are made in India, Bangladesh, and Thailand. Have a seat, sir. Have a seat. Have a motherfucking seat. Sí, you, siéntate. Siéntate, motherfucker. Stop acting like you're better than the collective. I'm gonna need you to chill. FBA, ADOS, hey, and even Pan-Africans. Pan-Africanists. We gotta do better. And stop projecting that self-hate off on each other. Sure, we're sick. We're all victims of white supremacy. You want to do something about it? And I'm talking to myself too. You want to do something about it? If your answer is yes, then from this moment forward, let's all live and die for the cause. We just got to stop thinking that because of the language that we speak, because of the accent that we have, or the culture it is, or the culture that we live in, where we're from, makes us better than the rest of them. I wish one of you motherfuckers would come up my face and say, we're better than you. We are better than you here. You know what I mean? Because if you are so much better, then why did you leave your native land to come over here? Could it be because you're catching hell there? Now you want to come over here and look down on the people who are already here? I'll smack you in the motherfucking face with a book about redlining. Just so you know. Don't come over here shucking and jiving for white folk because they convinced you that you're better. I told you we ain't got no friends. Don't let them, listen, don't let them put the battery in your back, got you thinking that you're so much better than us. Or anybody in the diaspora. I don't care what language you speak, what accent you have. I don't care what you mixed with. I don't care. It don't matter. Shit, you can call white folk devils. You can call them whatever you want. I tell you one thing, they ain't stupid. They ain't stupid at all. They got enough sense to know that all you niggas are the same. They know all of us are the same, regardless of the language you speak. Y'all can fool yourselves if you want to. You know what I mean? Fool yourselves if you want to. Word. Shout out to Hank Aaron. Shout out to Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron. Shout out to Hank Aaron. He passed away today. He was 86 years of age. Google him if you don't know who he is. Okay? Google him. And listen, the bizarre thing, okay, the bizarre truth about his passing, or the bizarre truth associated with his passing, is that Hank Aaron, the late brother Hank Aaron, had taken an experimental COVID vaccine on, let's see, in my notes. He took the experimental COVID vaccine January 5th. January 5th and passed away today, the 22nd. And supposedly him taking it was to inspire other black folk to get it as well. Today, he's passed on. I'm not necessarily sure what he was dealing with, health-wise. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And listen, when I got word today, when it came, I believe it was on First Take or whatever, when I got word, the young man that was in my chair, his brother Troy, I call him Trigger Troy. What up, Trigger? Right? He's 24, young young whippersnapper, young thundercat. He was talking about how he had because he's heavy into baseball. His old man got him into it when he was younger, right? And he had just hung up a Hank Aaron poster supposedly in his room. And okay, this might sound weird, Okay, it's unfortunate that the late brother Hank Aaron has just passed, right? However, man, and I'm trying to find the words, but fuck it. In a I guess morbid way. Let's just say weird. In a weird way, it was almost refreshing, and I'm using that for a lack of a better term, almost refreshing to see a young man at his age. He didn't cry. His eyes did seem to get a little watery. He's a big fan of Hank Aaron. He's a big baseball fan, period. And it's pretty dope that he knows his history, right? So it was refreshing to see a young man become a bit emotional over the passing of Hank Aaron, someone who's an icon, who stood for something, right? As opposed to, because nowadays, you youngsters, if you see them get emotional about someone's passing, then 9 times out of 10 it's someone in their family, someone they're close to, or a slain rapper who, unfortunately, has played some sort of part in his own demise. Okay? And whoever's hearing this, hear me and hear me well. This is no shade, no nothing like that. But take Brother King Von, right? I ain't gonna front and act like I was a fan of his music. I've heard probably some of a song, and his flow is dope. This shit is fire. However, he didn't have to die. I did see the video of him and his mans rolling up on, supposedly was it Quando Rondo? there's a crap load of King Von and his peoples who came behind King Von because King Von just got out the whip and went and started fighting dude. Then all of his peoples came. Now that's just Quando Rondo, I believe, and just a few of his boys. And I ain't about to get all deep into this shit. I leave this for the young dudes. His passing is unfortunate, but Quando Rondo, if that is in fact the young man's name, did what he was supposed to do. That's just real talk. If your adversary, or the ops as it's now referred to, right? They roll up on you deep, and you holding, you got every right to start squeezing to protect yourself. Brother King Von didn't have to pass away. If you was really gonna do something, you and your man should have surrounded them dudes. It could have just been done smart, and that probably sounds crazy too, because it sounds like I'm advocating that whole situation. I guess my point is, somebody must have forgot that Quando Rondo and his dudes are street dudes too. You understand? I'm saying all of that to say that it's refreshing to see a young man who's feeling a way about the passing of, a sports icon, a black man who stood for something, as opposed to some senseless street shit. And none of that probably came out the way I intended it to, but it's out there now. And for those of you who rock with me, I think y'all understand what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the late Hank Aaron. Rest in peace to King Von and all our slain rappers. And real quick, for all our rappers who are still among the living, using the word weird again, it's a little weird to see some of y'all get on stage and he probably saying, well, shit, with the COVID, who the hell was on stage? Okay, let's go back to the Triller exhibition fight with Mike Tyson. Remember Nate Robinson was on there, and Nate Robinson, that it wasn't pretty. When he got knocked out, it wasn't pretty. But anyway, so in between each fight there were performances, right? So one of them dudes was, I believe this dude's name is, I can't even think of his name, but if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. So the intro to this rapper's record, and I'm probably sounding like an old man. I just can't remember what the dude's name. I want to say YG. It's probably YG. It's been a minute since that aired, right? I know Wiz Khalifa performed, Snoop performed, and I think that brother's name is YG. So he starts the record off, his performance, because there was little mini concerts in between each fight. So he starts the record off saying, rest in peace King Von, rest in peace Pop Smoke. Right? Okay, so the intro is ending. Now the beat drops and now he's rapping. And every word of that song, at least the beginning of it, were lyrics that perpetuate the same type of shit that got Pop Smoke and King Von murdered in the first place. It's just weird to me. As a matter of fact, it ain't weird. I'm going to be honest with you. It sounds a little counterproductive, if you will. Here you are saying rest in peace to some rappers who were murdered due to some street shit. And then you go right into your spill, your song, spitting lyrics that depict street shit. Perhaps that's all you know. Well, it can't be all you know if you're on stage. I'm assuming you've been around. I'm assuming this young brother's been around a minute. I've seen him a minute. I'm assuming he's making a little bit of coin. So I'm assuming he's not still in the streets. And there's something wrong if he still is. Yeah, and that's all I got to say about that. There ain't no shade on none of them. This is just my opinion on what I see and what I hear. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. So rest in peace, you know what I mean, to the late Hank Aaron. Rest in power. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Trigger Troy. Shout out to my firstborn who's now on work release. You know what I'm saying? He's in work release. He'll be out in May. You know what I mean? I'm real happy about that. And listen, man, even my youngest born is now in college right now. He goes to USM. He's in the band, plays the snare drum. So all my sons, man, all my sons are adults now. And I battled with that for a minute. Why? I battled with it because we talk all the time, us parents. We talk all the time about, man, when my kids get grown, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. When my kids get grown. And now here it is. All my sons are men. They're men. And sure, they're just a phone call away, with the exception of my oldest son, who's a phone call away now. But for a hot little minute, he was just an email away. Still able to communicate. But the point is, sure, all my sons are either a phone call or a phone call away, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Now they aren't so available anymore. I guess what I'm saying is, instead of being happy and giddy and, you know, and all that shit, I miss my sons. I miss them. I really miss them. You know? When you call them, they got to get back now because they're at work. You know? They're not so available anymore. They're not so available, off living their lives and all. You know what I'm saying? There's a part of me, I miss them calling and asking for money. I miss it. I miss my sons. Shout out to my sons, man. Dion, Darren, and Dominic. And that's it, man. That's it. A New Age, Part 2. King Rashidi. This is Hoodies.
To the podcast. What am I talking about? Who? Always the forefront. This King Rashidi. Hoodies. I'm ready. God King. God Queen.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Turn your lights down low and pull your window curtain. Oh, let Jah Moon come shining into our lives again. I'm saying, ooh, it's been a long, long time to get this message to you, girl. Fucking up the words. But it seems I was never on time. Still I wanna get to something girly. On time. On time. I want to give you some love. I want to give you some good loving. Oh, I. I want to give you some good loving.
I want to give you some good loving, girl.
Yeah. Tastes so good. Oh, man.